Welcome to the Equipped Disciple channel. My name is Rick McClatchy. I will be your host. We are here to be and to make disciples of Jesus, and we do that through daily devos, through Sunday sermons, and through other discipleship resources. We are here to equip you to be an equipped disciple. All right, welcome into another day of your daily devos. I'm Pastor Rick, and we are getting right into Genesis chapter 26. And we're going to cover verses 1 through 11 today. And I decided to title today was a little session together, The God of Abraham Becomes the God of Isaac. And I think that it's a pretty important transition point for most people is if you're raised in a family that believes in God, where you have to really transition between it being the faith of your parents, the God of your parents, to where you decide, you know what? No, this is a me thing too, you know? Like I'm actually in this. Like I believe this. I want to go this direction. I want to follow after the Lord. And so you kind of see that starting to happen. So we'll go ahead and just start in verse 1. There was another famine in the land. So we remember reading about Abraham encountering a famine and going down to the land of Egypt and to kind of escape the effects of the famine. Egypt being well-watered area typically, and so there's another famine in the land in addition to the one that had occurred in Abraham's time. And Isaac went to Abimelech, the king of the Philistines, at Gerar. The Lord appeared to him and said, "Do not go down to Egypt. Live in the land that I tell you about. Stay in the land as an alien, and I will be with you and bless you. For I will give all these lands to you and your offspring, and I will confirm the oath that I swore to your father Abraham." So we're hearing, from the Lord. I'm about ready to reaffirm, like my commitment to you, not just to your father, but to you specifically. And I will make your offspring as numerous as the stars of the sky, and I will give your offspring all these lands, and all the nations of the earth will be blessed by your offspring. So we see that transition starting to happen because Abraham listened to me and kept my mandate, my commands, my statutes, and my instructions. And so the faithfulness of the father is now resulting in tremendous blessing for the son. And so it's we've talked about this a number of times in the daily devos of just the kind of the attached blessings that come along with obedience. Obedience always results in blessing, period. End of story. Can't be argued. Even if it's not in the here and now kind of a blessing, what you're kind of I don't know, almost like banking in those moments is because every time you obey, you are declaring what you say is more important than how I feel. What you say is the thing that I want to live by. And so it's relationship. It's a declaration of the love in the relationship for me to do what God tells me to do. And so it's not a legalism thing, and it's not a performance thing. Like we gotta, do it to earn God's love because God already loves you. But the obedience is a declaration. It's really a declaration of your acceptance of God's love and his reign in your life. And that it's like you really telling God, I believe in you, but not just I believe that you exist, but I believe in who you are. I believe in the fact that you are the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. So Isaac settled in Gerar. And that's like one little tiny verse, but it's a pretty strong a pretty strong declaration there. Like, hey, God says, don't go down to Egypt like your dad did, and so Isaac obeyed. Isaac declared his faith in God, his love for God, by doing exactly what God had told him to do. When the men of the place asked about his wife, he said, "She's my sister," for he was afraid to say, "my wife," thinking, "the men of the place will kill me on account of Rebekah, for she's a beautiful woman." When Isaac had been there for some time, Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked down from the window and was surprised to see Isaac caressing his wife Rebekah. And the Hebrew there can mean laughing with, playing with. So it's, not really exactly sure what he caught them doing, but we won't worry about the details. And Abimelech sent for Isaac and said, "So she's really your wife? How could you say she's my sister?" Isaac answered him, "Well, because I thought I might die on account of her." Which on the one hand, we've talked about this a little bit with the whole Abraham scenario. It's like father, like son, Then Abimelech said, "What have you done to us? One of the people could have easily slept with your wife, and you would have brought guilt on us." So Abimelech warned all the people, whoever whoever harms this man or his wife will certainly be put to death. So Abimelech came out forcefully here, and we're not really totally sure if it's the same Abimelech that Abraham was dealing with, or if it's a more almost kind of like a title, like almost like Pharaoh, or that kind of thing, or Caesar. So, so we're not totally sure if it's the same person or not. It's not totally clear, but regardless, I mean, you kind of hope it's a different one, because then you'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I've been down this road before. You're just like your dad, aren't you?" So, we see this transition of the covenant from the God of Abraham now to the God of Isaac, and it's something that we shouldn't actually take for granted. Certainly, us as parents have kids, making sure that we are committed to declaring the goodness, the faithfulness, the love of God over our kids, to our kids, so that they get to understand the nature of our faith. I wonder the conversations that Abraham had with Isaac about kind of just the process of being called out of Ur, and like just the journey of walking, not knowing where you're going, but listening to the direction of the Lord, and then following hard after that, and the ups and the downs, and the waiting 25 years for him to be born, and just all of the successes and all of the failures that happened along the journey. And those are the things that build Isaac's heart to a place where God can say, hey, you don't go down to Egypt. And he goes and settles in Gerar. So he obeys. He goes instead to the king of the Philistines at Gerar, and he settles there, living as an alien in the land. "I will be with you and bless you." Like, he just says, "Okay, I trust you. So I'm going to settle in Gerar." Abraham is gone. Isaac is now on his own, living that life, trying to figure out what I'm doing. God says, don't do it. He obeys. He demonstrates his faith through his actions. So our obedience doesn't earn God's love. Our obedience really declares our love, our faith, our trust, and our confidence in the Lord. And Isaac is demonstrating that here. And then, of course, he's not perfect. So he goes in Abimelech's area and has to lie to try to protect himself. Self-preservation is always one of the reasons why people lie the most. And so, again, he doesn't get summarily punished or anything by the Lord for these lies. So it's curious and it's interesting, but it's an interesting conversation. Again, it's like, come on, man, like, where's your trust? Do you trust in God? Do you trust in man? Like, which one are you going to put more stock in? Because, you play the what if game. What would have happened if he hadn't lied? What would have happened if he had just told the truth? But hard to blame him because of the culture that they lived in. It was not uncommon for people to just take out the husband so that the woman, whoa, hey, she's available now. What do you know? So with that, let's obey. Let's love God. Let's follow hard after him. Let's not give into the temptations to lie. Let's continue to refocus our heart, our trust, our belief in who God is and his faithfulness. So with that, God bless you. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.